In April 2024, the Vermont Rail System purchased the New Hampshire Central Railroad, a small short line that operates in northern New Hampshire. New Hampshire Central, NHCR for short, operates in North Stratford as well as on the line from Groveton to Whitefield, New Hampshire. The freight rights also extend down the former Boston and Maine line to Bethlehem and on the Maine Central Mountain Division to Gilman, Vermont, but neither have been used in some time. Until 2019, NHCR delivered plastic pellets to a local manufacturer, and since then has only come as far south as Hazens for occasional Conway Scenic Equipment moves. Despite this, they still have continued to serve customer Rhymes propane facility in North Stratford, New Hampshire. This lull in freight traffic changed in December 2024 when the first plastic pellet hoppers arrived for the original plastic pellet customer in Hazens for the first time in years. On top of this renewed traffic, NHCR is continuing to serve Rhymes and is also offering car storage in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Vermont Rail System crews are also up to something else, clearing brush on the old Maine Central Mountain Division in Whitefield. This work starts at the Hazens switch, goes past the famous ball signal, and extends to the old yard near the town center. The work has been ongoing over the past few months, and the clearing work is evident even under the snow. Brush around the old track has been cut and piled along the right-of-way. Seeing this work, a number of fans have been questioning as to why this was happening, as a large railroad wouldn't purchase a small short line and then spend money to clear long unused trackage for no reason. On January 10th, the plan was officially made public, and VRS's intentions are to bring the railroad back into service, ultimately connecting to their active line in St Johnsbury, Vermont. A local newspaper, Caledonian Record, published the announcement with information directly provided by the Vermont Rail System. Quoting the article, the Burlington-based Vermont Rail System, VRS, plan involves eventually connecting to St Johnsbury to move commodities such as timber and wood products and tap into the Class 1 railroad. They went on to explain there's a grant application to get the old yard area cleaned up and get some transloading going out there as well, which explains the current ongoing work that was visible in the old Maine Central Whitefield Yard. Currently, VRS has the operating rights from Groveton down to Gilman and to Wing Road in Bethlehem. Some customers are interested in moving both inbound and outbound lumber and log-type products, and as the project advances, VRS would move that product and others if asked. Currently, Vermont Rail doesn't have access to the whole line from St Johnsbury to Whitefield, and that track hasn't been used and maintained since 1999. To change that, VRS is looking to purchase the 21 miles of line from Gilman to St Johnsbury from current owner CSX. CSX ended up with this piece of railroad when they bought out Pan Am Railways, and being disconnected from their network, I'd say they'd give it up pretty easily. There is some damage from the deferred maintenance to the track in Vermont, but VRS plans to repair it to get trains moving again. In addition to just moving more freight, Vermont Rail wants to connect their pre-existing operations at St Johnsbury to their new purchase instead of taking a roundabout route through Quebec. VRS also already operates about 400 miles of trackage handling 25,000 carloads of freight and also offers passenger excursion trains on their trackage. Connecting the New Hampshire Central to their pre-existing network opens up new connections and gateways for freight and can increase competition among their connecting railroads. It of course also makes rail more competitive with trucking. Seeing this route restored would be awesome, but that's not the only part of the plan. In addition to the Mountain Division, what is left of the old Boston and Maine line past Whitefield to Bethlehem is also eyed for reactivation. To quote the article again, the plan also calls for VRS leasing from the state the railway spur that comes across Route 116 at the Whitefield town line and extends a quarter-mile to Wing Road in Bethlehem for freight car storage. Storage is one possibility for the spur. We have had some inquiries about possible transloads down there as well, and at times there could be some cars stored down there. But if we do transload operations around Wing Road, we wouldn't be able to store cars there. All the options are on the table, and there are a lot of speculation out there. Despite me only visiting this area a few times a year, I am excited to see what Vermont Rail has in store for this long unused and underutilized rail corridor. The Mountain Division has an interesting history, and each state it passes through has a different use for it. In Maine, that segment of the Mountain Division might become a rail trail, but meanwhile in New Hampshire, the Conway Scenic Railway uses it regularly for passenger excursion trains, and now in Vermont it may come back. I hope to do another update on this line in the future as this project progresses, but for now enjoy the rest of this video showing the current conditions of the rail lines in Whitefield as they were during my visit in January 2025.